So my name is Linda Llamas. I'm one of 6 GGC counselors that we have at Granada. And Mr. Hankeson is here as well. And we also have 3 GGC students who came this Saturday morning to join us and discuss their experience in GGC. So I'm going to go through this quick PowerPoint to just give you an overview. And after that, we're going to have the students share their experiences, and then we will try to get through as many questions as we can. Okay. So the GGC, or Granada Guaranteed Curriculum Program, let me see if I can go to the next slide.
You should just be able to click.
Yeah, there we go. So the GGC program is actually the largest program at Granada. About 65% of the high school chooses this option. And I think the biggest reason for that is because we are the most flexible program. We provide one question that we get a lot, I want to kind of put out there right away, is that students have access to all honors classes and all AP courses that Granada offers. And so this also includes the AP Capstone program and the IB, the International Baccalaureate Diploma program, which both begin in 11th grade. So students can be in GGC or really, frankly, any other program and then join that AP Capstone or IB program if they choose to do that in the 11th grade. And so within GGC, we have a lot of different electives that the 9th graders can choose in terms of their local option electives. So I'll get into that in a second. So really, the nice thing is that if a student is doing, a sport or getting involved in a lot of clubs and things like that, they do have a lot of flexibility in their daily schedule to do that. So I think these students that we have here today, I think they're all part of our National Honor Society and California Scholarship Federation, so they can kind of talk a little bit more about how that works and being in GGC. And so the next few slides are going to talk about the flexibility that we have in terms of electives. So in 9th grade, each student can choose an elective. And if students want to focus on math and science, the 3 choices that they have in 9th grade are to take Introduction to Engineering, Exploring Computer Science, or AP Computer Science Principles. If you attended the STEM breakout session earlier, you'll notice that those 3 classes are the 3 classes that the STEM students must choose from for their local option. So for GGC students, that's definitely a part of the list available to them. And you can kind of see below that if a student wants to focus on math and science throughout their 4 years at Granada, these are the other classes that are available to them. So for humanities and arts, the 9th grade local option in GGC would include taking something like AP Art History or Drama or Performance Art. So those are, our different choirs that we have. We have a really robust choir program, as well as different bands like jazz ensemble and our marching band and orchestra, of course. So we do have a lot of options for students who are interested in art to really get a good mix of art classes before they graduate. And then for students who might be interested in business, we do have our Intro to Business class, as well as CTE courses and engineering courses. So another set of electives that are open to 9th graders in GGC would be the culinary classes, as well as automotive technology. And then another focus we have is the social and behavioral science. So really the class that 9th graders can take for this is the AP Human Geography class, which is a really cool class if you're interested in learning about cultures around the world, as well as how um, the economy and politics play into that. And then again, I wanted to kind of reiterate too. So the International Baccalaureate program, as well as AP Capstone, those are both programs that start in the 11th grade and continue to 12th grade. So if students are interested in joining either of these two programs, they actually will go through a process in 10th grade to apply. And so, you can be in GGC and transfer into this program or other programs. And what you really want to think about is if you are a student who likes to challenge themselves, and if this is a program that will be a good fit for you, you probably are also doing that in 9th and 10th grade by taking, more rigorous classes. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this. I wanted to give our student panelists some time to just kind of share your experiences in GGC or just transitioning to high school. Who wants to start? Lily.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Lily Mazmani and I'm a sophomore at Granada and I'm in the GCC program. And I feel like the GCC program has offered me so many opportunities to become a successful student. There's a wide variety of classes and you can, like Miss Lama said, that you can choose between regular classes, honors classes, and AP classes. So whatever you feel comfortable with and it's the most flexible course, I definitely think that it's a very good decision to start off as a freshman and build up on it.
Some of you might be wondering what's at stake in choosing a program. And I just want you to know that colleges aren't necessarily going to know what program you choose. So what colleges are going to be looking at is if a student is in a regular class, an honors class, or an AP class. They aren't even necessarily going to know what program you're in. So they will know if you're in the IB program, starting in 11th grade forward. And I just want to take some of the pressure off of choosing a program. And I also want you to know that we sit down with you one-on-one to help you to make this decision, okay? So once you choose a program, you're going to sit down with a counselor, of course, once you're enrolled and what have you. You're going to sit down with a counselor for 30 minutes and we're going to talk. And we're going to talk about what local option elective you would like to do, and the options later on if you were going to, as somebody asked in the question, if you wanted to have a focus for 4 years, you could do that. But we're also going to sit down with you every year. So if you wanted to change that focus, 1 year you might want to do something more arts oriented, and then the next year you might want to change that up, and that's okay in GGC. You don't have to commit to 4 years of art like you would in Humanities. You don't have to commit to 4 years of science and math like you would in STEM. So I think that's a big difference in between GGC and some of the other programs. Beyond that, we're not interested in selling you a program, just so you know. We don't benefit in any way from having more students or less students. So this is just informational. It's more about fit. And when it comes to the rigor or difficulty of the program, within the program, the class level that you choose, that's really what determines the rigor. If you do an AP class, that would be the most rigorous, most challenging level possible, okay? I think that answers some of your fears that you might have. And again, the colleges probably aren't even going to know what program you're in. What they're going to know is what class level you're in. They're looking for those AP and honors classes at the more competitive colleges. Okay, and then somebody asked, do we have a class about design apps and websites? We do. It's called Exploring Computer Science. It's actually a national curriculum. So if you Google Exploring Computer Science, you can find the curriculum online just about anywhere because it's taught nationally. And then if you want to know what languages and what other options there are at the school, let's see, we have Spanish, French, Mandarin Chinese, Arabic, Korean, American Sign Language. We no longer have German. We had it a long time ago. Did I get them all, Linda?
Yes, that was it.
When it
Those
comes
are the
to
6.
coding classes, we do have, so we start off with exploring computer science, and then we move on to, we jump right into AP Computer Science Principles, which is actually one of the easier AP classes in my opinion. And then after that, there's another AP Computer Science class. So we do have a wide range of computer science classes. Linda, do you want to answer how students get placed in AP and honors classes?
Sure. So when we meet with our incoming 9th grade students, we will also ask you to bring a copy of your 8th grade report card. And that's where we talk about what's the most appropriate level for your classes for 9th grade. And we do that every year. So year by year, we'll have a conversation with our students to see what's appropriate. And usually, you know, we're looking for students who are having, you know, A's and B's in their English classes to go on to AP English, for example. So it's really a discussion that we like to have with our students and families. So that's basically that one. Does sign language count? Yes, it does count towards our language requirement, which is 2 years. And for UCs and CSUs, it also counts. I know there's always like a little asterisk on that one because there might be a few private colleges that might not take sign language as a requirement. That's something that you would have to look into directly with that college.
As far as when we have the counseling meeting, of course, you have to go through the whole acceptance process. You have to, you know, do everything you need to do with applying to the school, enrolling to the school, all that stuff through the attendance office. Okay, and there's a lot of information online about that. So once that is done, then I think we're starting the meetings. Is it January, Linda? Between, was it January 20th we start or something like that?
Something like that, and usually up until March, early April.
Even afterwards, it seems to go on for a really long time.
Right.
So you might be weighing the option. You might be thinking to yourself, is my student ready to do a program for 4 years? Are they really ready to commit to a program for 4 years? And you know, you might be asking, will they like a program? If they're going to enter one of the small programs and make that commitment for 4 years, will they be ready to stick to it for 4 years? So that's where GGC, you know, that's where the term flexibility comes in, where you can change those areas of concentration. You can change the classes. Like I said, we sit down with your student for the 3 years. And then in the 9th grade, we sit down with the student and the parent as well. And we try and answer your questions there as well as we can. Because it's really hard for an 8th grader to make a long-term 4-year commitment. And you might be wondering, okay, would this commitment, would this choice be something that would help to determine a major? And I would say yes and no on that. So that's where GGC, with being able to try things out, is such a benefit. What other questions can we answer from the chat here?
So I have a few questions here about PE and sports. I believe on the email that all the parents received, there's a folder that has this athletic coach's contact information. So if you can see it on that, you can actually email coaches already. The website is also a really good resource for any sports related questions with like the physicals and things, the other requirements. And then in terms of PE, so 9th graders are all required to take a general PE class. And then afterward, if a student is involved in sports, seasons in sports can actually waive the requirement for 10th grade PE, but in 9th grade, you all do take a 9th grade class.
Of course, CIF sports have been delayed this year. If you want to check the CIF website for the CIF Southern Section Athletic Division, that's where you'll get the most updated information, as well as on our website under activities and athletics. The season has been delayed. There's talk about things starting in December, but boy, the county's going to have to give us a change in direction real soon for that to happen. And as far as applying to the school, on our website, ghchs.com, you'll see an enrollment tab there, and all the information is going to be right there, okay?
And then there's some questions about the application process. So I think they went over that in the main session. But once you're enrolled in the school is when you would choose the program. So enrollment is different than program selection. Let's see, are freshmen allowed to take AP classes? They are allowed to. Again, that's a conversation that we have with our students because we want to make sure you're prepared to do so. But we do have 3 AP classes that are available to 9th graders in GGC, which is AP Human Geography, AP Art History, and AP Computer Science Principles.
As far as the IB certificate, the IB program is one of the most highly regarded programs. That is the 11th and 12th grade IB program. That is one of the most highly regarded programs by colleges. So when you apply to college, they're going to really be impressed with that. They're going to really see you as one of the most competitive students when you go to apply to college. Can you enroll as an incoming 10th grader? Of course, we take students from all grade levels, 9th through 12th. And you know, if you are a 10th grader, I think we can take you as a 10th grader. If you're a 9th grader, I don't think you can enroll and become a 10th grader, if you know what I mean. So when it comes to flexibility, you know, being able to concentrate in different areas, yes, you can do that. So when it comes to the other programs, I would say check out their presentations. And like I said, if you do Humanities, you're going to be committing to 4 years of an arts program without that flexibility of not taking that arts. In STEM, you're going to be committing to 4 years of science and math. And then adding an art class on top of that is definitely possible. What percentage of students in a science class? I'm not sure what that question is getting to. How many APs can be taken per school year? In 9th grade, 1 to 2. So AP classes are a big jump from 8th grade. AP classes are said to be taught at the college level. So you want to make sure that you're absolutely ready. And at that intake meeting, you know, when we sit down with you and talk to you, that's what we'll discuss, whether or not you're ready for that big jump. And it is a big transition from 8th grade to high school. But in general, 1 to 2, although students, you know, once you hit 11th, 12th, maybe a few in 10th, you can take more than that. But if you're talking, what is it, Linda, 2 to 3 hours of homework per night per AP class.
Right.
Boy, that is a whole lot. And Frank, how many students are in a class? It depends on the subject. In English and math, you know, ideally it'd be capped at around 28. Some years it gets as high as 32. And in your other general subjects, say history, it's going to be capped at 37 or less.
So I don't know if they went over this in the general session, but because we are an independent charter school, we actually do make the decision. We're not basing our decision to reopen school based on LAUSD. I know that our administrators are working with the Department of Health and the state education people to make that decision.
So we're at 12:01. That ends the presentation. So the next presentation is going to be actually not until 1:30, not until the afternoon session. And I think that is for a different alphabet. So thank you all for coming. And I really appreciate you guys asking the questions as well. And then students, we will, I think, see you at about 1:15 or so. And Ms. Yamas, anything else to add?
That's it. I just want you to make sure you check out that folder because it has a ton of information that was sent to your email. And if we didn't get to your question, or if you have other questions, you can always email the counseling office at counselingoffice@ghctk12.com. Thank you. Thank you all.